I'm meeting you before this committee for the first time. No. So I'm not conflicted. I'm doing the work that I've been elected to do. Yes?
It's fine.
Am I factually okay there?
No, you are doing a good job.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, Chairman, we need to follow all these issues. The work we are doing is on behalf of Kenyans. We are doing this purely on public interest, Chair. So let EACC appear jointly with the DPP so that Kenyans can know,
DCI.
And DCI, yes, so that we know where the disconnect is, Chair.
So to package what you're saying is that we have invited the EACC on Thursday, the 11th of September. They will take us through county by county all the matters that Parliament has referred to them. In the event the EACC has sent a file to ODPP to consider whether prosecution should be commenced, Parliament has the power not to direct, but to ask for a report from the ODPP. Senior Counsel is...
DPP Act to give us the status, because the information we have, Chair, and allegations that some of the files that are being referred to DPP are being secretly withdrawn against some individuals who are facing corruption allegations in counties. And as a Senate, since we are the protectors of devolution under Article 96, we are very keen. Protecting devolution also includes fight against corruption. So I hope, Chair, those three agencies, so that the EACC will sit there, DPP will sit there, DCI, so that when EACC says they have forwarded the file to the DPP, we ask the DPP the fate of that file, not to interfere with the investigations, but to give us the status report, so that we put the blame where it is, because the perception in the country, Chair, has been made to believe that it is us, Parliament, who are the obstacles to fight against corruption, which is not very true. So I agree in fact, myself and Senator Sifuna, a very, very brilliant arrangement to that effect. Let's bring everybody on board so that we try to target where we have some disconnect and maybe try to mend fences.
Thank you. Any other observations before we give final directions? Auditor General?
I just wanted to confirm that I've shared the issues for EACC for the counties.
Yes, we have seen them, Chair. I've actually seen them in my wall. We are going to go through them and make some interventions.
EACC, your mic is on. You want to say something?
No, Chair.
Yeah, just to summarize, the public is tired with all the talk that we are having in parliamentary committees. The public wants to see action. And what happened is that within the requirements of Article 2298, this Senate considered the written responses from Mandera. Because of the short time frames, we did not call you to appear before this committee. Or did we? We based our report on your written responses.
Yeah, we did submit actually this report in March.
Yes. So on the written responses. That's
the one you discussed and then make recommendations.
We made recommendations.
So this response is already with the Senate. I don't know why the clerk is saying he just received.
No. You don't go there, Governor. Yeah. I'm trying to say something that is helpful to you. On the basis of your written responses, self-reporting, where you said that evidence was available to support expenditure, we agreed with you. And you do realize that the report we are looking at right now is a report that focuses more on policy issues, ethnic composition, one-third salary rule, audit committees, risk management policy. Because you self-reported, we considered your self-report and came up with these recommendations. But there was a recommendation on payments to KRA. There was a recommendation on payments to legal firms. There was a recommendation on unsupported payments on pharmaceuticals. Some of those we marked to the EACC. Right now, we do not need your explanation. Right now, we need the EACC to tell us whether they have investigated and whether they find the recommendations or resolutions of the Senate to be actionable. So we must demonstrate now to the public that it is not just talk. I think the members of this committee, some of them, like Senator from Nairobi, Senator from Nandi, are perhaps most articulate when it comes to accountability issues. But it is now appearing like we just talk and we don't bite. And it's difficult to explain that we don't have the teeth is with EACC. So we must bring the EACC into this room and the ODPP to ensure that together we can bite and together we can slay this dragon of corruption that everybody is talking about. So with that, I don't know whether there's anything additional on this particular subject. Coming back to the report on Mandera, there are a few issues of policy where we wanted to get your update because there the action was on you. But your report came last night. The PBO has not had time to analyze it and to advise us on whether whatever you have responded is factual. In fact, I think we now need to insist that these responses should be accompanied by a sworn affidavit so that we can then take the responses to be akin to submission under oath. So for the issues that we have not addressed, we will take a view whether to reinvite you to deal with the policy issues. But for the issues that were marked to the EACC, the date is Thursday, 11th of September, for us to get a comprehensive update across the 47 counties. Senator Smith.
And Chair, just skimming through the responses, Governor, it appears you are responding to the initial audit queries. The guidance that the Chair was trying to give you there was that we already...
Until the governors realize that public office is not personal. It is held in trust, and you must comply and abide by the provisions of the Constitution. So let there be no fear that this Senate or this committee is afraid that governors will not come before us. When governors come before us, they are not doing us a favor. They are doing that which they are employed or elected to do. So our friends in the media, don't be worried. Even if there are a few postponements, deferments, I think we have sufficient tools in the Constitution and in statute to compel the appearance of governors before this committee. Honourable members, any other business?
Chair, maybe to add Article 96.3, just to add on your statement, Chair, Article 96.3, the oversight of the Senate is provided for to oversight on the national revenue that has been given through revision of revenue under Article 217. Article 293.4, the same Parliament appropriates to independent commission. So the role of oversight, Chair, has been entrenched. Even the Supreme Court has ruled that oversight, both primary is to the MCS, secondary is to the Senate. And even in the Oparanya case, that matter has been adjudicated upon and it has been ruled. So when governors appear before the committees of Parliament, they appear to follow the constitutional obligation that they were elected to do, because we need accountability and transparency. And I'm happy with Governor of Mandera. He has indicated that he wants to be part of accountability and transparency as constitutionally obligated. So, Chair, I want to confirm this committee does not do any witch-hunt to any governor. We are just doing what Constitution provides for us as members of Parliament. And I think that is what is very important. And I want to appeal, Chair, the Powers and Privileges, Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, Cap 6 laws of Kenya, is very clear that we have enough tools to ensure any governor or any witness as provided for under Article 125 who do not want to appear. I think it's section 18 of the Powers and Privileges Act. We have tools to issue summonses to fine. And in fact, I'm proposing, because we have a bicameral intervention
around corruption, there are other things, that there are other people who think that devolution is not something that we should have. I've had the governor of Mandera referring to it as a historic blessing to his people. And I was there myself to witness some of the things that have been done there in terms of dealing with years of marginalization and exclusion. And as I said when I was there, it is important for leaders in this republic. Senator Cherargei calls himself a senator of the Republic of Kenya. It is important for you to be in all of the Republic of Kenya, to see how other people are living. I know you are with me, I'm just... okay. I'm not, you were with me and you saw the things that we saw. Yeah. So, Governor, unfortunately, there is others amongst you who really have nothing to show in terms of the 12 or 13 years of devolution. And they really provide the firepower for the people who want to attack devolution, those who say maybe we should give all this money to the counties. There are members of the National Assembly who say, if you come to my constituency, I can show you the things that I've done with CDF, but you can't see any projects by the county governments. So we want to encourage you, and especially as a COG, to understand. Yesterday we had the conversation about the attacks on devolution will come from multiple places. I don't know, maybe at the end of my term as a senator in 2027, you also who have been on the COG can give us an idea, what is it called? An appraisal of how we have performed in terms of being defenders of devolution and pushing for the county interests of the counties. I can't praise myself or blow my own trumpet, but also we feel that there is a reciprocal duty on the part of the Council of Governors to defend the institutions that defend you. How can you be the ones originating attacks on the Senate? It doesn't make any sense to me, Honorable Chair. So there is a broader conversation, because I thought until this devolution conference, I actually believed that the COG is on the same side with the Senate in the fight for devolution. But I have come
of electricity. And I think on the working, that the report that was presented through Senator Oburu Odinga's Energy Committee, in that resolution, and I want to advise you, Governor, that you should get the resolution of the Senate where we directed that Mandera and any other county that is not connected to the national grid of electricity, they must be accessed. So for some of us who have visited, and I think Senator Dulo was with us, for some of us who have visited, Chair, we have had the benefit of having, you know, Chair, when I hear some people talking about tribalists who talk about one region, they should travel this country so that when you discuss the issues of this country, you know the challenges that we are facing. And one of the challenges we saw was the issue of security. I hope you'll be able to brief us. And the governor then was able to explain to us the collaboration and the role of the country in the issue of insecurity, because Mandera borders both Ethiopia and Somalia, the challenges that they're experiencing, and many other challenges, especially in security sector, the connectivity of internet that affects the issue of euphemisms and other challenges. So on all those fronts, Governor, what we request is that let us make accountability and transparency part of our DNA in realizing the full fruition of devolution in our country. So I think for some of us who have visited Chair, we are lucky, but I don't know whether Senate will have enough resources to ensure that we visit county.
Yeah, I think let's restrict ourselves to the mandate of this committee. The mandate of this committee is to confirm whether the 11 billion that was spent by Mandera County government in that financial year was used efficiently and lawfully. That is our mandate. There are other things that the other committees will deal with. Governor, you may respond to the issues raised, and perhaps that then will be your final remarks.
Thank you, Chair and Honorable Senators. And I just want to confirm that if there's any institution I respect, any institution that I want to partner with the Senate, because for the last, I think, 6-7 years, devolution has been under a serious attack. But for the last 3 years, I must say, the Senate actually has come out, and we discussed this at the Council of Governors meetings, to come out and defend Constitution, and by extension, defend devolution. And I agree that is your mandate. And I also want to thank the senators who visited Mandera, because sometimes, as governors, we are always condemned as a whole. The word corruption and a governance becomes, almost like in everyone sentences together. And that's not the fact. Of course, corruptions are there in every institution in this country, but it's good to separate where somebody you deal with corruption and you don't connect corruption to devolution, because it's not only happens in the counties, it happens everywhere, in national government, actually in a bigger way. So for me, Senate has been a very, very viable partner when it comes to matters of devolution, because you always fight for us on issues of shareable revenue. You support us in the formula, and even appearing before these committees and discussing these things also help us in learning the challenges we have, because what we have in the report is an allegation, and it can only be confirmed after investigation. That's why I support the EACC to investigate all allegations, because until it is investigated and confirmed, it remains allegation. And on the 45 million legal fees, I think the chair has given direction. And we have seen it even in the report that ACC to look at it and see whether we have done outside the law or we did within the law. And that thing, I think we leave it there, because I'm sure they have the capacity to look at it and give us the report. But where we sit, we have explained ourselves, and it is there, it is written there, and we said we are still within the law. On appearing before this committee, I personally have never had an issue, because when you are sending a letter, you refer to articles of Constitution of Kenya, and when you look at it, and it's true. So we cannot just argue. You know, we are not in court. As long as we come here and discuss matters of county government of Mandera and discuss on how best we can utilize fund given the people of Mandera, may I support. Because today I'm a governor, and tomorrow somebody else will be. Today I'm a governor, a few years later I can be a senator. So these are institutions that must work together. To do what? Support devolution and improve actually use of public fund, because we have been trusted with funds meant for the people of Mandera, for me, and it is my responsibility, because I swear with the Holy Quran that I will protect the Constitution and the relevant laws and support the people of Mandera in terms of making use of the monies that is under my supervision to go to the right places. And the senators who visited Mandera can confirm that devolution is working in Mandera. In fact, if you further read my report, we have done a lot of improvement in health, in water, because there is a section of Mandera County which has been referred to as Wild West, meaning there's no water, there's no life in that area. Because we have been told many years that there's no underground water. I can confirm that after investing in technology and training our engineers, we are able to identify about 66 fresh water aquifers in Mandera West, which has never been there. And we have already started drilling, and we have done 20 borehole, which out of the 20, 18 were successfully drilled and waiting for equipment. In health,
On water, through the chair, on water, how many families have been connected with piped water?
For the last 15 years, we have connected.
No, in your tenure, forget about.
In my tenure, we have connected 15,000
families.
Yes.
With piped water metered.
Yes. Which those projects will be actually commissioned by November this year. Our target is we do 15,000 connection.
So in those
areas
homes,
that have never have
they
water.
open their taps
Yes.
and there's water.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In addition to Senator Omugeni, I realize, were you part of the beneficiaries of the World Bank project on support on sewerage and sanitation and also issues of water? Thank you, Chair.
In water, yes, although they have not yet started, but not in sewerage. Yeah. So appearing before this committee, I don't find it a problem. And of course, the issue of condemning institution, whether it is Council of Governors, whether it is Senate, wholesomely is not even right. You know, you should pinpoint and say, so and so is corrupt, instead of saying all the governors are corrupt, instead of saying all the senators are corrupt. I think that's where our problem is. Because there are good people in this country, and you cannot condemn the whole population of Kenya as corrupt people. On timing, Chair, the invitation we are given was we are supposed to appear before this committee at 10. And we actually been kept waiting for 2.5 hours. Really, it's also good to be fair to us. Some of us travel long distances from Mandera. And keeping time is, I know within the parliamentary standing orders, it's very clear.
Governor, did you come by road?
Not me, I say some of my team.
You didn't say that. You said
So,
some of us.
If you had kept time
Yes.
required for your submissions,
Yes.
perhaps you would have reciprocated. So as you
Maybe-
make that
maybe that
complaint,
could be the cause.
reflect on your own conduct.
So going forward, let's also even ourselves will keep time also on the side of the committee, please. It's not fair to keep us in the corridors for 2.5 hours, to be honestly, Chair. And finally, I want to confirm that I will continue cooperate with this committee and any other committee of Senate, because I am a servant, I'm actually an employee of Mandera County, and to call upon me to appear before a committee and explain how I have discharged my duty, I don't see it as a problem. So we will ask the Senate to continue supporting devolution, irrespective of what happened this week. For me, not everybody in this country is corrupt, unless we wanted to paint Kenya that all of us are corrupt people. Thank you.
Chair, he has not answered the status of the county bursary scheme, because it was an issue when we
Yes,
were
we
there.
have done with, we have signed a IPA with the State Department of Education, and we are now in compliance.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the MPRs, they are still there. We have written to the Interior. They have not yet. We have not yet signed the MOU, but you are there. You know the challenges we go through. Those MPRs are actually doing a great job for this county, because unless if we don't have them, then even staying in Mandera County or doing some of this project will be impossible. So we are still continuing paying them, but we have done a letter to Interior to see how we can harmonize in terms of IPA.
Okay.
Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, Governor. For bursary, just a minute. Average, how much do you give to each student for bursary?
For Mandera, we pay the entire school fees for secondary school in Mandera County. For those who goes to public schools, there are about 32,000 students. So we clear their fees. So
You clear the fees?
yes. For universities, depend on the number of applicants, from 10 to 20, 30, depending on the courses they do, because we are biased towards some specific courses like teaching, engineering, and health.
And finally, these 15,000 families who have piped water,
Yeah.
do they pay some consumption fee to the county?
Yeah, they will pay. They will pay. That will actually improve our own source revenues.
Yeah, we need to then give final directions. I think, Governor, what has not come out clearly, which I think Senator Sifuna was struggling to bring out of you. There are forces that are advancing the theory of equality in this country, and others that are pushing the theory of equity. If we went the route of equality, Mandera will not be getting 11 billion. And it is this Senate that has pushed the envelope on equity. In the last formula for revenue allocation, of revenue share, we held you harmless for the second time. You know, in the very last formula, there was the holding harmless bit. We made the resolution to hold harmless for the second time. The forces of equality were up in arms because they thought that we are sending money to camels and we are sending money to landmass. But this Senate is on the side of equity. And I think that's what Senator Sifuna is saying, that there does not seem to be a reciprocal appreciation of some of the positions that the Senate has taken in support and in defense of devolution. I think with the rise of equitable share to 415 billion, you probably would be getting about 13 billion.
12.2.
12.2, which is not bad. Yeah. I think with that, you can be able to deliver certain services. So it's important to put that on record, that the Senate is, when we come here and demand accountability, it is because we have also fought a lot of wars to ensure that you have that money. That should be the spirit. Number two, it must go on record that this committee reprimands you, the governor for Mandera, for the late submission of documents contrary to the instructions that we are given. And I hope you are going to reprimand your officers as well. Because if it's just a slap on the wrist, then the inefficiency and incompetence is going to reflect on you. There is some incompetence in your institution that has led to this meeting terminating because documents were sent to the Senate just last night. You must take administrative action, but on you as a CEO, this Senate, this committee issues a reprimand. And as we have said, we are going to investigate or look at the laws, and we'll talk to the Treasury to find ways of surcharging entities that then commit us to a session that is not fruitful and that is not value for money. And if there are no provisions in the PFM Act and regulations, we are the ones who write the law. We are going to provide for that to avoid this kind of wastage of public resources. To the County Assembly of Mandera, we urge you, you have all the powers that the Senate has, the power to compel any person to appear before you. Please, you have only one county executive to oversight. Please try as much as possible to be up to date. When you demonstrate that, we shall start agreeing with the forces that say that governor should appear before the county assembly. But here is a case where almost 9 months down the line, you are yet to look at the financial statements and the audit report. Please make us proud. And we are not saying this, I'm not reprimanding the county assembly because we are brothers and sisters in this game of oversight. So please, clerk, go back. If there are capacity problems, talk to the Office of the Auditor General, talk to the Treasury, talk to the Clerk of the Senate. This is a very easy exercise. If you are able to do your primary oversight role, then the question being asked about the connections to water, perhaps you'll have better oversight, better visibility on it. To the ESCC, we have agreed on the date when you'll come here and we'll tell the nation the status of referrals, county by county, issue by issue. We have also established that the law allows us to compel the ODPP to give a report on any matter. The last time we invited the ESCC to a retreat in Mombasa, I can pick a few examples. There was a matter in the county of Mombasa where the ESCC reported had been referred to ODPP almost 7 years ago, and no action has been taken. We want ODPP to give us a report on that. And that is not directing the ODPP, that is going by this relevant section that was cited by Senator Omogeni. In Kakamega, there was a file referred to ODPP, and then all of a sudden it went quiet. We want the ODPP to address that. There was a file in Tharaka-Nithi that was forwarded to ODPP. There was a file in Migori that was forwarded to ODPP. A file in Nyamira to ODPP. The public thinks the Senate is doing nothing. We must tell the public the exact status of all the issues that have been flagged by the Office of the Auditor General. And finally, as I said, we have read the public mood. The public is tired of talk. We must now proceed to bite, and we must now proceed to ensure that people who are cited for unlawful financial practices are held to account, and the institutions that are mandated to do that job are also pushed and oversighted to ensure that they do what is required. Finally, we probably will have another session with the County of Mandera because the Devolution Committee has referred a matter to this committee for further inquiry. That is on the issue of emergency relief supplies. There's a resolution of the Devolution Committee that has asked us to do a special audit or to review the issue of emergency relief supplies. And I think that there's even a substantive issue here on the operationalization of emergency fund. I think that's a separate inquiry that we are going to schedule a date for us to ensure that whatever practices you have in the counties to respond to emergencies and disasters are in compliance with the PFM and are also in compliance with the procurement laws. I think with that, this meeting is adjourned, and the next meeting shall be by notice. Thank you.